This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with the Makobura. Makobura, how are you doing, sir?
Good evening. I'm doing good, Brother
Yes.
Ben.
Uh-huh.
You can also see our good friend Brenda Obedi has also joined at the comment section, and you're saying
Yes.
hi.
Uko salama?
Niko salama, nashukuru.
How
Uhali
is it?
gani?
Mi wali niko tunasema niko vizuri, niko buheri wa afya. Um, ja, jana nilikuwa naangalia siasa tu za Tanzania, na baada ya kuangalia pia siasa za Tanzania nikaenda mpaka Burkina Faso, nikaangalia Captain Ibrahim Traore na mambo ambayo anafanya na mabadiliko ambayo anafanya, nikakuja kujiuliza tunakosea wapi?
Huyo ndugu yetu kwangu mimi naamini ya kwamba anafanya kazi nzuri. As much as he was not elected by the people, I think he has done well. I've been following actually the kind of developments which are going on in that country.
Yeah,
He's doing fine, and sometimes some cool leaders, as much as it is not right for us to be supporting such kind of moves, at times some of them come as a rescue to the people and the whole country, because what we've seen in that country is a change, a leadership that cares for the people,
yeah.
a leadership that listens to the people. And as much as it is not being recognized as a government of the
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
it is good for us to acknowledge the fact that he's doing good.
Okay,
He's doing good.
there's something that you've said there that is maybe we can also expand about. You've said that a leadership that listens to the people, So if you have a leadership that listens to the people, which means you will have to engage with them. You don't have to detach yourself. Like, there's not that gap between you and the people. Now, you can take a typical scenario, and leadership, we do not only mean that it has to be a president. It has to be, if you know you are called a leader, be it the presidency, be it the deputy president, be it the governor. Is it the deputy
Starting
governor?
from the chiefs,
The chief.
assistant chiefs,
Yeah.
members
And
of county assemblies,
yes.
members of parliament, senate, anybody who is given a chance and
Yes.
is supposed to be listening to the people, I think the more they should do is to incorporate the views of the people, listen to the people, understand what the people want. That way, you'll find yourself governing or providing leadership to a
Yeah.
group of people that fully understands you and you also understands them. And that way, you'll never hear of people having different or divergent opinions.
Yeah, and when you talk of that, there's that feedback that you get, because when you connect yourself with your people, you communicate with them, and there's that feedback. From that feedback is where you can make your resolution. Because I remember most of the time when we are engaged, especially like in the school leadership, because I'm privileged to be one of those people who are serving in the school leadership. So what I usually do, or what we usually do with the teachers, from the results that we get, that's where we make our decision, and we make our decision, and where we see where are our weaknesses or where are our strengths. Especially, let's take for example, you get a result of a particular class. You see that this time they had a mean grade of this time they went down. The mean grade has not gone up, or mean grade has gone up, and you start to, from the result, you can see what did we do right or what did we do wrong. So from there we can evaluate ourselves. Then from there, now we start communicating using the data. That is the feedback that we are getting from the students. So we evaluate ourselves as the teachers, and also we evaluate the students. We can know. Then from there, we make adjustments where the adjustments is required. So that listening part and communication is a better tool that anybody in the leadership can use it, and you can get a feedback and make informed decision. That is what I think you were talking about.
I fully agree with your explanation. And maybe to just give an example of such kind of leadership, part of it we've seen in the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah.
If you remember, last the last 2 terms, there's a Governor Professor Kivuta Kibwana, the
Yes.
governor of Makueni. He exhibited the same kind of leadership, a leadership that went to the ground, understood what the ground wanted, and implemented as per the uh, views of the people. And Makueni County was used as a benchmark. So many governors used to go there to just see how things are done. And that is part of things that we commend. And we are saying those are positive leaders who thinks that is a government for the people, by the people. Similar thing we are seeing in Muranga.
Yeah.
Dr. Lungu Kangate is doing the same. He's listening to the people and understanding what is more important for the people of Muranga County. What is
Mm.
it that they really need more much? You see, when they talk about issues to do with health, what did he do? He went and brought something that can serve people at their own comfort. So that kind of leadership is what we want to see. And maybe talking about Africa, I think it would be also good or nice for us to walk through the southern part of Africa in a country called Namibia,
Mhm.
where we have there's a president serving who was just elected, who is a lady. The deputy is also a lady. I don't know whether you've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that, and that is going to be a very good benchmark for Africa, and we are going to see on how they are going to deliver. If that one is so, then we should now shift our focus and at least try to change the leadership by giving.
We should now
Sorry,
shift
sorry,
our
and give it to our good mothers and daughters. Or yeah, that could be
Yeah,
your good.
maybe something to note. If you saw the appointment of cabinet secretaries,
Mhm.
almost 50 or 55% were also women.
Yeah,
So it's a good move that
yeah,
we are actually here and we'll be trying to monitor and see how that leadership is going to run the country. I mean, the top leadership of Namibia.
Mhm.
Yeah, so those are some positive moves that we are seeing. We are embracing and we are understanding the fact that we are all equal, of course, before God,
Yeah,
and we also recognizing the leadership of the women as a continent, and that's a positive thing
yeah.
that is we are seeing. Just the other day, you saw it was almost not easy for the presidential candidates to accept going for presidency without the support of uh, without the support
you
of
know, you
women.
you know what I'm laughing. Ayaga, how are you doing? That's a coup in Namibia.
I,
Ayaga,
I,
how are
I
you
I
doing?
don't. Okay, I understand, but I don't think it's good for us or nice for us to see that whenever ladies are in leadership, the first thing that comes in our mind is that they are either weak
Uh,
and that there's, they're not able to secure their leadership, and
uh,
such kind of thing should happen. I don't think that's right, Ayaga, a
uh,
good friend. You can also join and give us your take, Eric.
yeah, Eric can join. Thank you so much, Makobura. We are still waiting. We're having this conversation, and today is a weekend, and we will pick our conversation of what has been happening, especially the comment that was made by the CDF. People have given their comments, and um, people have given different issues, and we're not going to dive so much in the nitty gritty of the security of the country. We don't have that. I do not have more information, but we want to look at it in a very political angle, because like if you look at the history of our country, this is the first time that we are seeing the CDF in the military talking about uh, on a slogan that the Kenyan people are saying, especially when it concerning the administration of the His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto. The word must go is not the first time that we are meeting it in the political field. No, this is almost, it was Moi must go, Uhuru must go, Uhuru must go, Ruto must go. So it has always been in the political. But now, what is quite much interesting, or what has given it more attraction, is because what the CDF talked about the other day when they were having the meeting and with the NIS boss. So that's what has sparked kind of like a reaction. And what we want to look at, we want to look at as a country, because like he talked about democratically on how you can remove a president. And I think our laws and our constitution really explains that how should we remove a president. And there are, I can say, quite few that I know. One of them is through initiation of, we can say that by referendum. You can bring a referendum and you can remove a president. One of them is through impeachment. This one is done through members of parliament, through the members of parliament, the Senate and the Senate and the parliament, I mean, the August House. And one of them is through the ballot. And also is that like, when we look at the Constitution itself, the Constitution has given the people, we the people, the power. The power has been donated, and the president serves at the powers of the people. You know, so those are some of the things. So when you look at that, I don't know whether we did not understand him or what he was saying, or is it that like the mood of the country right now? Anything that you say concerning the president must be taken with a lot of hunger. What is your take on it?
I wouldn't really say that it's the mood of the country,
Yeah.
but I'll say that it is what is there in the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. We say a big thank you personally to the drafters of the Constitution 2010, because
Yeah.
they gave us an opportunity to express ourselves as a people. They gave us opportunity to criticize whatever we think, so long as we have a reason why we are doing so. So that those are kind of things that we are embracing as a people. Whatever we are seeing, the kind of criticism that you're seeing, be it in social media, be it in media stations, these are things that the Constitution has permitted us to do. What I can say is that there's something that you talked about, the issue of Ruto must go, and you said that these are things that we've always seen. But I want to say over here that this time it's a little bit different. More
Yeah.
of the Ruto or Kibaki or Moi must go. We used to see such kind of movements or slogan
Yeah.
towards the general election during the campaign period.
Mm,
This is something that is not what we've been seeing, and we have to admit to that fact.
mm,
Ruto must go narrative is a consistent move, it's a consistent slogan that is being embraced, and it is almost being sung everywhere in the entire Republic of Kenya. So
yeah.
it's not like the ones that we've always seen. If you can remember Uhuru must go,
Yeah.
we would hear such kind of slogans during the campaign, and especially in a specific area. Either if, for example, they were vying together with Raila Amolo Odinga, we
Yeah.
would hear such kind of conversation during campaigns. And remember, we are not doing campaigns currently. What
Yeah.
we are seeing
Mhm.
is a move by the people who are dissatisfied by how the presidency and how the government is being run. And they're saying that they've consistently heard their views, presented their views
Yeah.
before the president or the people in power. But
Mhm.
with the help of the president or the people in power, they've not listened to the people. They've simply ignored the people. And this is what is making the people feel uncomfortable, and they're finding a momentum to continuously
Yeah.
proceed with this kind of Ruto must go. So
Okay.
the scenarios are a little bit different
Yeah.
because this is a continuous one.
Okay.
And we are not yet at campaign. We are not
Mhm.
doing campaign. We are not seeing someone who has started saying that we are not yet doing our campaigns. But remember, this is the second or third year of the president. So this is something that has to trigger, the minds of the people, and anybody, any leader who is concerned, they
Yeah.
have to keenly have a look at it and maybe make a move to listen to the views of the people, or what is angering or making the people uh, to say that the president has to go.
Okay. There's something here that you keep on mentioning, and this is where our problem might be. And this is about listening and communicating. This is somewhere that we have. And even as we know, we cannot question the judgment of the CDF, the boss from KDF. But one thing that we should agree, that there's this element of listening. And when you're a student of communication, yeah, when we were going to school or when we were in college, so we are taught something about communication. And one of the communication does not only mean that the way we are conversing like this is a communication. Communication can be expressed in so many ways. One way is by us listening. Yeah, I'm talking and you're listening to me. We are communicating. One of the another thing that also is about communicating is through revolt. When you see somebody's resisting, yeah, it might be somebody resisting a positive idea or a negative idea, but still communicating. Yeah, a communication also can also be done through the body language. You know how
or
the body
protest, or
language,
even
the
protest.
protest, and all that. So there's this communication that maybe the country is trying to communicate. Okay, they say that uh, the slogan of the Ruto must go slogan. There's something that they must be communicating. It not necessarily might mean that they want the president to leave the presidency or uh, to overthrow the government. No, it's that now, president, you need to listen. Maybe they've
Yeah,
tried
and
that
maybe to
listening
say
part.
something on that,
Yeah.
the listening part is very important. And I can tell you, if the president would have listened to the people towards during this time that the finance bill was being brought,
Yes.
the president would have not gotten to a point of firing all the cabinet secretaries. The
Yeah.
people of Kenya, or those who demonstrated, would not have managed to go to the parliament.
Yeah.
The reason is they presented, the members of parliament, as their duty says, they went
Yeah.
to the ground, listened to the people. The people
Yeah.
said, no, kindly, we don't want this, amend this. And
Yeah.
they went ahead, went to the parliament, and, proposed and, uh, gave a go ahead to the parliament. The parliament gave a go ahead, and they approved everything that the people said no. And
Yeah.
so what we can say at that point is that there was no listening that was
Yeah.
done, because the people gave their views, but they were not listened to. Again, even after they had proposed
Mhm.
that finance bill, the
Yeah.
people still maintained, either in social media, in burials, and they said that we don't want this. They still did not, listen to the people.
Mm.
What then ended was they spoke now while going to the parliament, while
Yeah.
demonstrating, and that is when the president listened. If you would have listened, and partly we have to blame the NIS and others,
No,
departments. That,
I don't think Bakubur, I don't think we should blame them. They because
the
like
reason being is,
yeah.
allow me to just give my, running a government is not something easy, and
Yeah.
you have to be guided by people who have, the right information.
Yeah.
I think it is their role to advise the president. They always see the moods of the people. They have everything that is required to gauge the mood of the people, and
Yeah.
to even see everything that the people of Kenya are trying to come up with. If
Mm.
they had seen that the ground was not okay, what
Yeah.
they would have done was to advise the president to listen to the people,
Mhm.
or to remove part of what the people are saying, so that it would not have ended or gotten to a point where, the people would then go to the streets. I think partly that was a failure on their side. And as a
You
country, we have to stand up and, if we want a stable government,
yes.
a government that is not, we are not seeing issues to do with consistent
Mhm.
demonstrations which are getting up to the parliament, then there's a structure. That's why we, as a country, we have that department to help the government in making serious decisions, and also to protect a government in power, and also even the lives of the people. So partly they failed at that point.
But like sometimes I would not so much into it, but like they might have, you never know. But also we have to look at the history. Where is the issue of must go is coming from? Because remember, when immediately after the election, what happened? Yeah, immediately after the election, when we went to the election, and how the election were carried on. Remember what happened was immediately how the results were announced or how results were being released. First of all, there was division amongst the people that have been given the mandate to give the Kenyans result. And how was it taken from the the public itself, those who believed that there are each and every
It was not
tribe
done in the right manner. Yeah,
in the right
there's
the right
those
manner,
who beliefs.
and it means
And
like there was
mm,
that there was that would I say like the power of the vote. The Kenya did not speak. that from
Yeah,
how.
there's a group of people who felt that this thing was given to the wrong person. There's also a
Yeah,
group of people who say that this thing was ours and it was taken. There's a group of people saying that no, we got this in the right manner. But now the
yes.
question that is being raised, or the people who are making it more difficult for the people to understand, of
Mhm.
course, are the commissioners. When you see commissioners who are supposed to be speaking in one language, some of them saying a different, some of them criticizing that, such kind of moves are the ones which are making a wider gap between
Yeah,
the people,
and
people's think
and
belief.
and if you look at it, in that immediately after the four commissioners, the Cherera four, how did immediately after election, how did the president react to them? Did we dig into the matter and get the real reason why it happened? But we
Yeah,
did
and
not.
that
We took
that
sides.
actually raises eyebrows, and you can ask yourself, why is it that when the president got to power, the first thing assignment was to throw them out? You see, and if you have to raise such kind of question, and those are some of the things which are making those people who believe that this government was not gotten in the right manner to
Yeah.
believe that they're not supposed to be there.
Even
Partly,
even that, and now also that one also brings about the question of we look at the parliamentary and we look at what is the role of the parliament, because president might come with an idea, because like one of the things, let me tell you, as an administration, when you come into the administration, one of the things as an executive you come into, you have to apart from the blueprint of your political party, as a president, you have to come with your budget on how you want to raise finance to, on how you want to make development into the country. And what happens is that after coming up with all this, you have to bring it to the parliament. And the parliament has to decide and say that, okay, this budget is okay. How can we amend this? And how can we not amend? But what happens is that when the bill went to the parliament, it was for the second time, because the first time people complained, but people did not react. The second time now, people had to come out, and this was as a result of the parliament themselves. The parliament were not very sincere about they were not listening to the people on the ground, and that led
and
us to.
even the explanation of what was really contained
Yes.
in this finance bill, they were not really giving it to the people. They were not
Yes.
explaining it to the people
Mm.
until when it came, and then when the people then started going through the what was passed,
Yeah.
then they found that whatever they were being told is quite different with whatever has been passed,
Mm.
and that really angered the people. Maybe if you can allow me to just give my comments on what the CDF had to say.
Yeah.
I think, of course, we have a constitution, and the constitution of the Republic of Kenya gives us all this kind of right to criticize, and of course, they also have a role. The army has a role of course, protecting the governments in power, those that are legally elected, of course. We understand his message, and we fully respect, and that is okay. But again, I think it is also in order for them, or the people in the army or that sector, to also understand that the people of Kenya, we are the citizens, and the citizens are being governed by a government. The government has to listen to the people. Listening to the people helps the government to make the right decisions,
Yeah.
decisions which are not consistently making the people of Kenya feel like they're not part of that government.
Mhm.
So, as much as he was speaking in support of the government, saying that they have a duty to protect the government, I think the people of Kenya also, especially those who feel that they're not happy with what is going on in this government, they have I mean, the constitution gives them that leeway to criticize or to
Okay.
express their feelings when they feel that the government in power is not listening to them. And I think they should do so without threat from whichever side of the security.
Yeah, okay, and I will take you back, and maybe if also we can bring, because like if this is something that is affecting, because like we had issues to do with abduction, we had like there was abduction was very rampant. Kenyans were being abducted, but we did not see them coming out to condemn and say that, okay, hey, the Kenyan people. So you see, like these are the comparisons that people are giving out. I say, like, why do you keep quiet when Kenyans are being abducted and we don't know who is abducting the
Yeah,
Kenyan?
and the
And
people
now
of
when
Kenya,
you are, so that is
that's
what is
understandable.
hungering people.
Yeah, because people are asking, we are saying, some people are saying that they're saying Ruto must go because Their family members were abducted. Some of them have not seen. Some of them were killed. And so
Yeah.
they're saying that we cannot have a president. The president has the prerogative to, when they are getting into power, they do carry the Bible and also the Constitution and say that they will protect the people.
Yeah.
More, or one of the fundamental things that a government in power has to do is to protect the lives of its people, and
Yes.
especially the young generation, because
Mm.
normally we're being told that nyinyi watu wadogo ndio sijui nini wa kesho, leaders of
Okay.
tomorrow. You cannot expose young people to an environment where they're being abducted each and every day just because they're trying to air their views. They're trying to, say or call out the bad things that they are seeing. I think it is also the right of the people of Kenya to criticize a government that they elected. This is a
Okay.
government that the people of Kenya woke up very early in the morning, and they have a right. The constitution gives them that right to say anything that bad that they are seeing. It is not good for the security side, the army side, to come and tell the people of Kenya that they have a duty. Yes, we fully understand. You have a duty to protect the government that is legally
Yeah.
elected. But again, as a people, this is a government that we woke up. Them, they don't vote. It is the people of Kenya who woke up and voted for this government. And so if they feel the government promised certain things that they are not, delivering, the people
Yeah.
of Kenya has the right to stand up and say that no, you did not tell us. It is the president during
So
his
as
swearing in, he came out and
yes.
said how he was going to do in this government. We were not going to see abductions and killings, and it
Yeah.
is there. This is the first time we've seen something we've never seen in the Republic of Kenya. What is wrong if a Kenyan who lost their brother, their sister, come out to say that if you cannot stop the killings? You saw the other day a cabinet secretary was saying, speaking in the same language, he was sent home just because he understands that it is wrong.
Yeah.
Him, at least, he's been in power, he's part of that government, and his son was also abducted. So what is wrong if you are not happy with what is happening? If other people, can you imagine, he is the cabinet secretary and he has that kind of pain? What about a normal Kenyan, a Kenyan in Madare, a Kenyan in Korogosho, whose son or daughter was killed in that manner or abducted? How are they feeling? And they have no platform to air their views. They have no platform to come out and criticize the government.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, we will come and discuss about that, because like even today at Mheshimiwa Elachi, when they were burying their son, there's some kind of words that were spoken by members of parliament, the leaders, and we have to reflect and we have to give. And there's some of the things that also we need to talk about at where we've reached, because like I tell you, this when you find it reaches a point whereby during the loss that people can go that overboard and comment, like some people are celebrating about the death, especially to our leaders, especially to people. And then it is a time like we have to sit down and interrogate ourselves as a community, as a society. What is going wrong? Instead of maybe saying that this generation is a generation that we need to pray for, there's some things that don't need prayers. Why do you want to pray? Let's just have a conversation.
brother Ben, yeah, let me tell you something. It is the Gen Zs who are bringing. I think they're doing a good job changing the narrative and how things are viewed in the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm really in support of the move by the Gen Zs. It is quite in order for a member of parliament to come out and tell the people of Kenya, and especially the young people, that if you're not happy being in this republic, then you can go, you can leave. That's a member of parliament, someone elected by the people.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of coming out to say that if you're not happy being here, you go. You are supposed to ask the people, what is it? Why is it that you guys or boys or gentlemen, why is it that you feel you're not comfortable? Why is it? That is the role of a leader. If they cannot do that and coming to tell the young people that, someone who has gone to school, wengine wameuza mashamba, wakaenda college, work, and they have no job, they have got families, miaka inaenda, they need to marry, they need to have kids,
Mm-hmm.
they are unable to do that, and then you're coming out, you are a leader earning millions, and you're
Mm.
telling the people of Kenya that if you're not happy you can leave. Hiyo ni madharau aina gani?
Na ndio nakwambia, unajua ndugu yangu, kuna jambo ambalo labda sisi sisi viongozi labda kuna vitu ambazo lazima, kwa Kiswahili tunasema lazima uweke na uangalie kwa jicho la tatu. Angalia kwa jicho, uko na jicho mbili, uangalie kwa jicho mbili zote, alafu kama uwezi ona uangalie kwa jicho la tatu. Na ile lazima sasa tukue na mazungumzo bana ya mimi ama mimi na uongozi wangu, na mimi labda na cheo ambao mimi nimepatiwa, kwa sababu kiongozi ukipatiwa uongozi ni ukipatiwa uongozi inafaa ubadilishe maisha ya watu ambao unaoongoza,
si kuwadharau
ama
kuonyesha dharau,
ama kuwaonesha kwamba hao hawana,
wao wako chini, wewe uko juu, uko ligi ingine yenye kivyako na wengine hawajafika ligi yako.
Ndio nasema leo wacha tuzungumzie tu mambo ambao viongozi ambao walizungumza, kwa sababu unajua unapata kwamba viongozi ikifika kwao ambao ikitendea kwao,
it is serious to them,
maneno ambao wanasema
they feel the pain.
Yeah.
And maybe allow me to just say this before we proceed.
Yeah.
We are all human beings. You have your life, I have my life. Sisi wote tuko na damu, we've got brains, na sisi wote tumezaliwa, sisi wote ni watoto wa wanadamu. It is not, there is no any human being who is special, whether you are the son of the president, whether you are the son of mtu wa Korogosho, we are all human beings.
Yes.
And we've got life just like them. Wote wanaenda choo vile tu, hakuna, there's nothing special. The only special thing is either wako na pesa ama they have got power.
Yeah.
It is so unfair for the political class to see the lives of fellow Kenyans, especially those from backgrounds which are not known. When they are killed, it is normal thing to the political class. When they get an accident, it is a normal thing according to them. But them, when something struck them, they come together and they view it as if whatever happened was ini shetani ingine sijui imetoka wapi. And then if it happens to a normal citizen, it is normal. They don't care. And even you'll see them coming to those matanga na wanaanza kupiga watu ama kukose, they want to politic in wanaanza kupigana politics, and then you ask yourself, do these people even did you see them even misbehaving in that matanga? No. What they were talking about was how life is precious for the son of politicians, but it is not precious to the son of the normal wananchi. And that is why you are seeing the kind of comments you are seeing in the social media. It is not that the people are celebrating that this young gentleman died.
Yeah.
It is because the kind of comments that are coming from the political class, the kind of view, how they are looking at death of their own vis-a-vis the death of a normal citizen, it is something else. And then the kind of comments coming from these leaders, for example, just like the one I've given you, this honorable member came and told the people who are not satisfied being or living within the republic that they should waame, waende wapi, na nchi ni yao. Na wanaama kwa sababu they were given a chance to deliver, to make things change. They've not done it. So now, kwa sababu they have failed, they're telling you that if you are not comfortable being here, you can leave. No, it doesn't work that way.
Unajua, kuna ile tunaita hadhi ya uongozi. Kuna mahali ambao labda tunajaribu kushusha hadhi ya uongozi ama hadhi ya cheo ambao sisi tumepatiwa kama binadamu. Unajua, leo si kwa ubaya, nilikuwa nafuatilia tena, nilikuwa nasikia yale wanasiasa walikuwa wanasema, lakini pali ambao wanakosea, nakumbuka Sakaja akasema kwamba ni lazima tuzungumze. Hapo nilikubaliana naye. Millie Odhiambo, lazima tuzungumze. Lakini mazungumzo yetu kama ni kuzungumza, mbona tu tunazungumza wakati ambapo tumepigwa na tukio? Sasa kwa sababu inafaa tuzungumze, kwa sababu
hii mazungumzo inafaa ikuwe ni ile kitu inaendelea.
That is muendelezo. Tunaita kwa Kiswahili kwamba ikuwe ya muendelezo, kwa sababu tuseme kwamba ni tangu lini wakati ambapo walikuwa wanajua mpaka saizi wakajua kwamba inafaa tuzungumze. Kwa sababu wakati ambapo watu walikuwa wanazungumza, naambia bana, hii kitu si mzuri, kwa sababu si jambo mzuri, kwa sababu sana sana kupoteza mtu wa familia yako na uone mambo kama hayo inafanyika si vyema. ni lazima, sisi wote binadamu, kila mtu ako na uchungu, lakini pia lazima uzungumze, useme kwamba ni tukio gani kimetokea, tukio ni gani ambapo imefanya mpaka tumefika hicho kiwango ambapo tunaweza kuwa tunasema maneno kama hayo, tukisema kwamba tunataka kuzungumza. So,
niko.
Okay, tunataka kuzungumza, so hiyo inafaa. Leo nimesikia kwa umakini sana wakizungumza na wakasema kwamba kuna venye hao mavijana wanazungumza, na ilikuwa ni siku ya kwanza. Hatufurahii, hakuna mtu ambaye anafurahia tukiona mavijana wadogo wanakuwa na mambo kama, kwa sababu hata ukiona kwa mazungumzo yao katika mtandao wakisema tunakuja, unaona wanazungumza kwa uchungu. Ni kwamba wanaona kwamba kuna labda wamefeli, kuna mahali watu wamefeli, kuna mahali watu wamefeli. So hiyo mazungumzo inakaa ikuwe ni mwendelezo wa mazungumzo, isikuwe tu ni siku ambazo mazungumzo inaletwa wakati wa tukio tukaona kwamba tumekosea, na tukikosea na watu wakizungumza, basi itakuwa ni nafasi bora kwa wale ambao wako na hasira na waseme kwamba hapa ndio unakosea hapa.
Me what I can say, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, sir.
What I'm saying is that I think we have to be truthful. The political class understands and they know what is happening in terms of the views of the people. They know very well that the people of Kenya want this. They know very well that these are the problems that these young people are going through. But they've just decided not to listen. They've decided not to put in practice or to embrace or to even, put in place the views that these young people are trying to bring on board. Because if you had...
Hello, Marco, did I lose you?
Yeah, if you had what the governor of Nairobi said, is that we need to listen to these people. Yeah, they have something. There's something that they're trying to bring on board. There's something that there's a reason why they're talking this way. And the question you're asking is it the first time that since he started being a senator to a governor, is it the first time that he's seeing that, these people have something? Why is it that they simply decided not to listen? It is true they know the views, but they've just decided that it is not. Si lazima tuwafanyie hivyo. Let us get concerned about our lives and the people around us. See how they care about each other. And it is so painful. It is so painful. It is so painful. If you walk, ukitembea hii Kenya, one the kind of life that people are going through, the kind of unemployment, consistent unemployment, people are learned, the kind of pressure that ladies and gentlemen are going through in this republic, you can ask yourself. And then, did you even see what happened? Wanaongezwa mishahara hapa juzi around 360.
We want to 366 talk about that. But the funny part of it, I've also seen Senator Onyonka has said that they've not asked for salary. Sifuna also talked about that. Metu, those are three.
Imagine. I just look at what is happening in the Republic of Kenya. I've had the opportunity to work in the banking sector, and I can tell you, someone who earns 120,000 Kenyan shillings as a gross, the money that this person, someone who earns 120, the money that he can go with home is 75,000.
A half. That is almost a half of the money is gone.
Yeah, and it is true. I've seen pay slips, so many of them. It is true. Someone earning 120 gross, wakikata SHA, NSSF, housing levy, telling you this person goes with 75,000. And the question you're asking is, why are we being taxed to this much? And we're not seeing the product of, pesa yenye tunakatwa. Hatuoni barabara inaendelea kukua mbaya na no one anashughulika. People are dying of, SHA haifanyi, hakuna pesa. Wanasema zile za hospitali za churches kama hizi za Catholic zinataka kufungwa, hawana pesa.
let me there's some things also that we need to talk about, and you've mentioned about the salary. And we've worked in organizations, especially like a private organization. For you to get even like until reaches a point whereby now you are being given like added salary, or they're raising your salary, what usually happens, this is usually done based on the evaluation on how the company is performing. And we are looking at, because we are going to look at what profit, and how are we making profit, or we are making losses. If you're making losses, we cannot increase, because that one is going to increase your wage bill. But if you're making profit, that we can at least give of our workers maybe 5 shillings on top of what they are earning to be, because like we've made projection and seeing that after this time we will be doing well for this period of time. So what is the criteria? I don't know what the criteria the SRC, I don't know what criteria do they use to measure the raising salary of our members of parliament. I don't know what criteria. How do they
Can I just maybe add something on that?
Yeah.
As salaries of members of parliament are being raised,
Yeah.
salaries of normal wananchi, it is not being raised. And part of the problem, part of the pressure that the employers are having, or the question they're asking themselves is, the moment they raise your salary currently, they also have to raise how much they're giving to, they're also being taxed. This housing levy, there's money that they also take. So the more they give you this, they had you the salary, the more they send to the more inakatwa na serikali. And this is also a conversation that we need to also have. Employers are shying off from increasing the salaries of the employees. Reason being, the more they increase your salary, the more they'll be charged by the government. So ni kama wanakuongeza alafu tena wanaongeza huko, so they're afraid of that.
Okay, let me wacha nikuulize swali kwa sababu I'm not well versed with this. So when it comes to house levy, or when it come to taxing, so which means there's what we call the structures. Let's say that you are in you are earning between 1,000 between 1,000 to maybe 2,000. There's a percentage that they are taking. The more you earn, the more they deduct you.
Yes, that's the best explanation that you've given. That's how it works. The more you earn, the more they deduct from your payslip, the more they deduct from the employer. So, for example, let me say I'm earning 70,000.
Yeah.
I'll be remitting maybe, let's say, 4,000 to the government, or 3,000. Let me say 4,000 to the housing levy.
Yeah.
My employee is supposed to remit the same 4,000. So if they increase my salary to from 70,000 to 90,000, I'll be remitting to the government 5,000. They also have to increase from 4,000 to 5,000. So my employer is shy of increasing my salary, because the more I may increase, the more it's going to give the government on the other side.
So which means government is going to benefit more than the company and the employee. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, so they're seeing it's a problem. People are not, salaries are not being increased currently. And again, it is becoming so tough for normal wananchi, wale watu ambao wako na payslip, because payslip imenyongwa. I can tell you, I've been giving this example. Someone, for example, who earns, before the introduction of SHA and the housing levy, someone who earns 70,000, if you do a normal calculation and you want to give them a loan, they would get, for example, 1 million. Currently, with the introduction of the SHA thing, someone who used to earn, for example, that 70,000, if you do the calculation, you'll find that from 1 million, the only amount they can qualify is around 600,000. The question you're asking yourself is, if, normally when you're going for loans, you go depending on the plans that you have. You go in mind thinking that maybe if I get 1 million, I can start this project and this project. And so it has been a narrative that is what has been there, and then you get to a point where it is now not possible. You are being taxed too much, and again the rates are also too high.
Well, let me maybe if you can shed for us because let's say like there's that loan that you can get via your payslip or your salary to be as a security. That is what is guaranteed because this will be reflecting your earnings even after deduction, and this one will inform the banking institution or any financial institution what they can give and what they will be deducting. Yeah. In a situation whereby now I'm not going to use my salary, I'm trying to bring in my property as the security of collateral. How does that one also they will put in consideration of the share?
Okay, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Um, if actually currently, those who have salaries, if you want a loan based on your salary,
Yeah.
the banks are actually shying off from giving you that loan.
Kwa
If your
sababu
salary,
utatolewa.
the reason being unaweza tolewa. Another reason is, you know, there are so many things. Government inaweza kuja na mambo ingine ipate that sasa salary yako you cannot commit a third, like inarudishwa, you see, and
Yeah.
again the consistent change of rates.
Yeah.
There's uncertainty. CBK keeps raising, and and again the rates are high. So the kind of loans which are currently being given are risk based,
Okay.
and you'll find that those who are working with the government are somehow safe because their job is somehow guaranteed.
But that
If
one
you
has
want,
always that one has always been the case ever since because like it is not quite much very especially for civil servants to be sacked.
yeah,
Yeah.
So if you're working in private sectors and maybe you're employed on a permanent basis, permanent and pensionable,
Mhm.
you'll find that if someone is working in government and you're earning the same amount,
Mhm.
the amount of money that you'd be given by the
Yeah.
bank is higher compared to you is working in a private, and maybe your contract is permanent and
Mhm.
pensionable. You'll not be given based on the uncertainties that we are seeing within the businesses.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Something,
Malcolm. Yeah.
yeah, something else you've talked about, for example, if you have a piece of land
Mhm.
and you want to take, you have what do you call title deed
Title deed,
that is
yes.
signed on your name, and you want uh, amount of money. Of
Yes.
course, you'd be given in such scenarios. Actually, currently the banks are somehow considering that based on the fact that ukikataza kulipa, at least they've got something. Currently, things change. Unajua kitambo they used to give you, walikuwa napenda sana sana salaried. Wakati hii siku hizi hata wana avoid the salaried side, wanataka kukupea based on pegging that money on something because
Okay.
they know should something go wrong they might come for it, but they
Mhm.
cannot even give you, let's say the value of your land or vehicle is 1 million. They'll only give you 70% of that, and that's cutting across.
Let me. Okay, I think this is something that we need to do because like I'm so much interested about the lands because when I can remember when you want to take a loan by the value of your land because let's say for example there's you have to do evaluation, and when you do evaluation of that particular property there is that the open market value of that land, and this open market value is usually informed by very many decisions or many very many parameters depending from where the land is. That one can inform. Also it will depend from the sale that has been taking place in that area, or things to do with how accessibility, the electricity, and what amenities we have. All those usually affect the value of the land, you know. So let's say like I bring a land that has a value of 1.5. Yeah, that is the value of the land of 1.5, but I wanted like around 1 million. Will they consider all those considerations, or they will peg our on the value of that particular land based on the reports that has been given?
Yeah, normally you cannot even come with evaluation. What will happen is, of course, there is a panel of valuers that
Yeah.
are within the bank.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
you as the owner of the land, you will be told that you have to pick from these valuers, and they'll have to do that valuation. Based on the valuation that they would have done, the maximum that you'd be given is 70% of the total value. And of
Okay.
course, that title is charged, and it's
Okay.
brought to the bank.
So let's say 1.5. I'm having 1.5. So this 1.5 will be 75% of that value.
70% of that.
Or 70% of that.
Yeah.
Which is that one divided by, so which means 70% of 1.5 is what? Is it like 1,050,000?
That would be,
Yeah. Yeah, that will be something of that, or like around
that should
15,
be
70, 70. So that is 30%. 30%
that
times
should be 1 point.
1 point is
That's
something like around
that is
one.
50,000.
Yeah, that's what I got. Yeah. So
It
that is what
is
you're going.
it, it is not as prestigious as it used to be. You know, those before this introduction of these so many things,
Mm-hmm.
they used to do between 90 or even 100, depending on the conversation that you'd have. But of course, things has changed,
Okay.
and there's so many things actually in Kenya. If you're talking things to do with money, there's no certainty. Anything can change anytime, and that has really changed the narrative
Yeah.
and everything around money.
Okay. Thank you so much, Makobura, for taking your time to have a conversation about that. And now, let's talk about there's something also I saw. I don't know how true it is that the current or the newly resigned or reassignment by president to Duale. Duale has said that there are these clinics that usually are on the mtaa. You know them, this hawa watu ambao wako katika mtaa, wale wanajaribu kusaidia watu. In the near future, those units will be closed down because they were acting as a flagrant, or like there was those were the channels that money was being got from
Tells,
cartels. How true is
yeah,
that? If
you know
someone,
what he meant.
yeah.
I think what he meant is, dying horse. A dying horse. You know how a dying horse would behave. The truth of the matter is, Sha is not working. And if you saw Bishop, was it Philip Anyolo?
Mm-hmm.
He came out. Remember, Catholic Church has so many small hospital dispensaries which are being run by the church. Not just Catholic. I think SDA has, ACK has. They are called missionary hospitals or mission
Yeah.
hospitals. There
Mm-hmm.
are so many in the Republic of Kenya. Actually, they are the majority. The mission hospitals, the
Yes.
dispensaries, ziko kila mahali na zinasaidia sana watu. So if you saw that presser by Bishop Anyolo talking about they are almost closing because there is no money. The government has not given the money. That's just a confirmation that SHA is not working. So I think the cabinet secretary was coming in to tell the people that he's going to make SHA work, and according to him, hizi hospitali ndogo ndogo ambazo zimefunguliwa kwa vijiji ambazo
Uh,
hazitumii SHA
uh,
zitafungwa kwa sababu people will have too much of that SHA itakuwa inapeana mingi na hospitali zitakuwa zinafanya to an extent that hizi hospitali ndogo ndogo zitafungwa. But I totally disagree with him.
yeah.
The reason why I'm saying so is we do not have enough hospitals in the Republic of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
We do not, the population of the Republic of Kenya is too huge, and the hospitals which are currently available cannot manage. If it were not consistent, if it were not because of these small dispensaries within
Yeah.
kijiji,
Mm-hmm.
watu wangekuwa wanaumia sana, kwa sababu the first contact that people normally have before they go to these big hospitals ni hizi hospitali ndogo ndogo. As it is right. I think the best thing you would have done is to just acknowledge what hizi hospital ndogo ndogo zimekuwa zikifanya, because for someone to even access these big hospitals, it's not always easy.
Makobura, I'm still bringing you to one thing that you said earlier. It's quite much very important and vital: communication. There are sometimes, let's say, like you have a stomachache and you are living in Kisumu. Should I go to the referral where there's emergency room, yeah, where there's so many, or district, or the referral, for that, in developed countries we have what we call the emergencies, and these are small clinics that are offering emergencies. These are emergencies, immediate, relief. So I think what also that the current health CS should know, by shutting this one down, because from his argument, or from the way, I might be wrong the way I want to think for him, there are many issues.
You are right. You are fully right.
Their main issue, his main issue is they are much concerned about the SHA and what the SHA is spending, and they want people to register, or maybe we can have fewer hospitals so that the money that is collected can still go to those hospitals. But remember, if you're a student of account, it doesn't matter. They will still be coming to this hospital. You are still going to bill them. Yeah. So first of all, if we have these small ones and they are registered, they follow the due process to get their license and to practice, first of all, is decongest some of the government hospitals. That is something that he has to do. Decongestion in some of the government hospitals.
I don't know if you watched. I don't know if you watched what was happening in the northeastern Turkana side.
Yeah.
Where there was a gang of people who are masquerading and even defiling both children, young girls, and even women, and even grandparents.
Yeah.
And if you watch that clip, I think it was on, was it Citizen?
Yeah.
If you watched that, and then you'd actually comment and even ask those who are coming up with the small dispensaries to put more of them. If you go to the northeast and those sides of Turkana, for you to find an hospital, not even a new hospital, this house, not even a dispensaries, by the way, these housemates, where someone, for example, in my house, I have some little knowledge about medicine, I can assist.
Yeah.
Those are what the people are able to get access to. If you remember, if you watched that,
yeah,
there were so many people, even big grandparents. Ashosh, when he was defiled, was raped, and the only person who helped them, if you watch that clip, was someone who is operating a makeshift dispensary, and it was 15 kilometers away from where the victims were raped. And the question you're asking yourself is, instead of instead of kupea watu motisha so that they can create this, especially in such kind of environments where there are no hospitals, that you have to travel 40 kilometers for you to access hospital, and there are no roads, of course. How, he's a health minister,
and that is something
that
that
is a sarcastic.
We have to
His
look at it.
Comment was actually a sarcastic comment.
In infrastructures. You are giving an example to a town, that place, not even in that place. That was just like a case that was highlighted. But even in even the counties that we feel, or the counties that we feel like, okay, they are more urbanized, they are when issues to do with health. The only thing that the CS could have done, if he was to issue that, first of all, do an investigation and come up with a list. If these clinics are operating illegally, and they are getting money from the government illegally, then that clinic should be closed down, and there should be professionals in those clinics. Let them not just be in our areas of living, or in our residential, yet we don't have professionalism. Because also we've seen that some of the clinics that are operated with quacks, that Kenyans have ended up losing their life, due to negligence of those who are working
But,
there who are
but
not
happens,
professional.
it is, I get that, it's always, it is their responsibility, the health department, to ensure that those who are operating, they do patrols. Of
Yeah,
course, in an environment of a huge number of people as the one you're seeing,
yeah,
of course, you'll automatically find rogue people.
yeah.
But let us be factual. Let us be realistic. They've been given, si wanalipwa, kuna watu wanalipwa kufanya those investigation, watu wa pharmacy, sijui pharmaceutical board, si wanatembea kila mahali,
They should
si
not
they're
even
the people
work.
giving.
They should know who is registered.
Yeah, so that we are not supposed to even, if such kind of things happen, then ni wao wanatuweka kwa mahali ambapo hatufai kukua. It is their responsibility as a government and also as a department to ensure that the kind of medication or medical practitioners that are within our reach are
Yeah,
people who are qualified. What we need to do, we tend to go to these people when we are found with these kind of problems. It is not our problem. It is the role of government to protect us. We are not supposed to know. If I come to you, you tell me you are a doctor. How am I supposed to know that you are not a doctor? It is their role to ensure that the people who are giving us those medical
yeah.
services are qualified.
Mm.
It is not the role of a cabinet secretary to come and tell us how the dispensaries are not supposed to be there. That's being insensitive to the lives of the people of Kenya, and also even whatever the kind of lifestyle or the kind of problems that it is so bad and inhumane for a leader to come out and make such kind of comments,
Yeah.
especially being that these are people that are being paid by the taxpayers of the people of Kenya.
Hopefully, this is something that we are going to hope. Hopefully, we are going to see changes, rapid changes, especially with the reassignment of CS Duale into the health. We hopefully we are going to see is going to streamline the
Do
health.
you really think there's
Yeah.
not something? Okay, it is not good for us to be, let me say, negative, but the
No,
truth
we
of
are
the
not
matter,
negative. It's we are hopeful because
yeah,
you know
we are hopeful, but depending on, we also have to be factual.
yeah
Depending on what we've been seeing, this is not. He has been in different ministries. Have you seen any tangible change that we can talk about?
maybe
No,
this one the president got it right. Maybe you you never know.
benefit of doubt, maybe.
Yeah, let's give him benefit of doubt. So we give him the benefit of doubt, and we hope and believe that the health sector is going to change from the doctors to Kenyan people to the patients, everybody in the hospitals, every hospital. When you go there, one
This
of
is
these
the most critical department. This is the only department that has a bigger say in the Republic of Kenya, because remember, the health of the people of Kenya, a
matters.
healthy nation, a healthy nation is a progressive nation. If the health of the people of Kenya are not going to, if they are not going to get the services, health services,
Yeah,
which are required, then of course even the economy of the Republic of Kenya would not get to where it's
it
being
should.
projected to. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and we hope and believe, as I said earlier, that CS Duale is going to bring changes, a new face in the health sector, which has at most has been handled by how many we have. Who was the first health at the four? Who
It's
was the
for
first? No, Nakumicha was the
Nakumisha
second one.
was, she was the first.
No,
Uh, I need to. Let me just check.
I know we have Nakumicha, we have Baraza, then now is Duale. Nakumicha must be the first, or Nakumicha came immediately after the Gen Z. When did Nakumicha? Hey, anybody on the comment section? Hey, our memory inapotea hapa kidogo. Who before Nakumicha? Who was the health in charge of health? Remember, there was this lady at the health during Uhuru Kenyatta's time. Was called Mwangangi. Where did she go?
She was not really the health minister. She was a PS, and she
Yes.
really worked well. Yeah,
Where did that lady
I
go?
saw she was being interviewed for which position. She once, I don't know, I've forgotten, but I think she had
She's what
applied for a job. I saw her name somewhere.
in the government?
Yeah, in the government.
She was called who Mwangangi? She was somebody Mwangangi.
Uh,
Even there was also this young guy. He was called who? We used to call him Waziri. I don't know. How can I call it? It's Waziri for education. Very young people during the Uhuru Kenyatta tenure. As you look for that, Makobura, president has rescheduled his visit to Mount Kenya. What is not happening with accusations? I can tell you. Let me read something from good lawyer. We call it Njiru. What Njiru said. Let me just look what Njiru wrote. Gaido too is trending over here. What is Gaido saying? This is worst. I told you one thing that I told you, because right now when the slogan is in the clubs right now, somebody has just posted something on 28 minutes ago. They are in the club, and the slogan of Ruto must go is being chanted over there. So I think it's going to be very tough.
This is the problem. We've been in this republic, and we keep telling the relevant authorities. At this point, there are things that they're not supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
If you remember the issue of abduction, if they continued with abducting people, and the main reason, of course, was they were abducting people who were talking on social media. They were told, no, you should stop this. Kenyans are people who are agitated about
Yeah.
a leadership that is going to solve their problems. Out of the 50 million, you cannot advise. I mean, you cannot come out and start telling them, and they've got the platform, social media platform, not to talk about something that they are not feeling okay about. You will find millions of people coming out to talk about it. The more you stop them from doing what is constitutionally right, the more they come out to talk about it. And that is the mistake that this government is doing.
Okay.
Dealing with the Gen Zs, let me just give you, this is a generation that you talk about something, that thing uh, become their lifestyle. You criticize them about a move, they start making fun of it. You criticize a move, they make it like a national anthem.
Yeah.
And if you are keen, if you've been looking at what the things which have been trending, very relevant thing, you talk about something that they don't want, they make it, they make fun out of it. They make it trend. They want to make you feel that whatever you are saying, they want to belittle what you're saying, or they want to confirm to you that they are there, we are here, we can do it. You see, so it
Very good.
is. This government need to know how to deal with this generation. If they are not going to get to understand this generation, then I think they will abduct so many of them. They will arrest so many of them, and the more they do this
Yeah.
kind of move, the more they'll get to a point where the whole youth, so the whole people will get out, and it will be out of order.
I know tomorrow you will discuss about the president going to Mount Kenya, and we can touch slightly on it before we close the shows. Now, there's something here that Sudi said yesterday, that we are coming to Mount Kenya to work, and we are not asking for permission, Oscar Sudi, to Rigathi Gachagua. Wanaenda kufanya kazi Mount Kenya, and they don't need to ask for permission.
That is a political move.
Haikuwa.
It was, of course, a political move by the president, based on what has been happening, the political disagreements that he had with the former deputy president. Of course, since that fallout, it has been difficult for the president to just walk into the Mount Kenya region and also meet the people, or perform his duties. I think, of course, based on the advice that he's been given, of course, by the responsible team, it was unsafe for him to get there. But I think they're seeing things have cooled down. But again, the ground is not so safe.
Yeah.
And I think based on that information, he's been advised not to set foot, to relax first. It's a good move for him as a president, because he also cares about his life.
No, president is well protected. You see?
Yeah, he is, but you cannot just move anyhowly, especially when you're seeing a group of people that you're going to meet. Some of them are charged. Some of them have been incited by the political class.
and
So
and also I want
based
you.
on that, I think he has decided to. He's been advised to postpone.
Yeah.
But I also know it is not out of fear because he has all the security apparatus, and if he decides he's going there, he can go. But I think there are some political moves which are playing behind the scene. Partly, you saw the deputy president trying to prepare the way for the president, so that when he sets foot there, he'll find a resilient population.
Loyal crowd,
Yeah,
loyal
but not
crowd.
a, yeah, but not a hostile people.
Okay, now this is another thing also that Ndegwanjiru wrote. I quote him. This is did one day ago. Fellow Mount Kenya, kindly take notice that all members supporting President Visit have been given Kenya shillings 20 million each to mobilize attendance for his schedule. Visit, tokelezeni mkule hizi pesa zenyu and remember to sing. So I'm not very
Yeah,
sure how factual this is it, but like if it is true, 20 million just only to mobilize. Why that?
if it is true, this is not the first time we are hearing of such kind of allegations. If you remember when the president was going during the presidency of Uhuru Kenyatta, when he was going to Lowland,
Mhm.
a place that was seen as a support base for Raila Amolo Odinga, he would mobilize, he would use money, So this is a political move that we've been seeing within the political class. Whenever whenever they feel that they are not unpopular in a certain place, of course, you know what money is to the people of Kenya. You know how difficult it is to get. You know how the people wants that money. And so the political class, especially those supporting the president, they have no other way but to tell him, give us something, we prepare the way. But again, that money, they might not use all of it to make the ground happy.
Mm.
Utapata wametumia tu hata milioni moja, hiyo 19 imepelekwa chini, wanafanyia mambo zao.
Na-
So
Sasa
these are political moves that we've always seen. It is a way of bribing people to just make the president when he gets there feel that things are okay,
but
lakini
but
kwa ground it is not.
how do you make him feel things are okay, but now the money that has been used, how does that one even make sense for you, Makobura? How can you feel okay?
Brother Benson, these are the some of the issues that we are trying to raise even in this media. We are trying to call out such kind of activities, such kind of cowardness, such kind of hypocrisy.
Mm.
And imagine they're doing it. As much as you might think they're not doing it, they're doing it. And that's why we are here to tell them it is not right. That is why we are here to tell the president that instead of giving politicians, members of parliament, money to make way for you, you can channel that money. You can do something that the people of Kenya would remember you with,
To me, I know I'm not in a positions to advise the president, but because if a country thrives, a country will always thrive. I know the politics. I've never been in politics. We've been in the media, so we don't understand politics as they do understand it. They know the reason, but those are just like some of the accusations that we are not very, very, very factual about because we don't have anything to prove. But this is something that.
Brother Benson, let me just add something.
Where is Njiru?
If you
Njiru,
remember,
Njiru, can you carry? Njiru, are you busy? I see Njiru say yes.
if you remember, I was not really active at that point,
Yeah,
but I'm a student of history. When Kibaki got into power,
yeah,
remember he got into power at a time that things were not really working well.
true.
Uh, but when he got in, he came in with a team that was active, and within a shorter period, they changed so many things. And even those people that who felt that he was not going to make it, everybody loved him in the entire country. And the issue of political enmity, kila kitu ilikufa ikaenda.
Let me. You've talked about Kibaki. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Njeru. When you talk about Kibaki, I know, one of the things that Kibaki did, Kibaki was not one person who used to be on on road most of the time when he's doing his project. He limited. He had very few visits in terms of doing project. That is one, and that is one. Secondly, Kibaki used not to promise, because that president usually promise a lot, or while doing the project, he might be going their way. Okay, I'm doing this. I will give you like this money, yeah. Which, when you look as compared to Kibaki was not doing that, and that is something that we should also learn. And it brings me back, Makobura, to what you said earlier, that there's communication. The greatest thing is communication. If you can communicate, when I communicate with you, yeah, when we communicate and we are not understanding one another, there's that breakdown, or there must be the link, the de-link of our communication, like the way now we are doing remote communication. If you do not have a proper internet on your side, or I don't have a proper internet, we cannot
or maybe a
communicate.
device, or even a device.
Or
If I
even
do
a
not
device.
have a device, so actually we can try to put it this way:
Yeah.
the government do not have either a proper, let me say, a proper internet, so the people are not really getting what the government is saying, or it is the
And
people giving their voice, the people in government, because of not having good internet, they are unable to get the information from the people, and so they are acting out of ignorance or out of
no, no,
something
no,
that they did,
not even ignorance. It's a let me tell you, it is a communication barrier. What is making us not to communicate with ourselves? Or
I get you.
or we've reached a point whereby, like, we have what we call the political correctness. The political correctness is where the 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 only person that has a say or make decision is the leaders. They make decision on behalf of the people, yeah, without even consulting, because that has always has
But
been a norm.
Brother Benson, what does the
Mhm.
Constitution of the Republic of Kenya say,
Yeah,
even about the members of parliament? They're
how
supposed to be representatives. I think that
the
is
same
the bigger thing, representative.
the
But
same the same
how
constitution
can
that
you,
you are. How many
yeah,
times
how
have
can
they
you be a
suspended?
representative? Yeah, why? How can you be a representative of a group of people, and you are going to represent them without hearing their voice, hearing their take? I think you first listen to them, get their take, and then now you present. See, wanaongea, watu ni wengi wanaongea, alafu because wote hawawezi enda parliament waseme mambo yao. Sasa wewe unachaguliwa, wewe ende utuwakilishe, enda useme sisi tumesema hivi. We are not
Unajua,
seeing that.
unajua mimi sasa, unajua sasa siwezi, tukikuja tu kuongea tu kwa hali ya kawaida, kwa sababu unajua serikali ambayo inakuwa kwa serikali ambayo iko kwa mamlaka lazima wapate kulaumiwa sana, kwa sababu wao ndio wanaongoza nchi. Hakuna jambo njema ambao wanaweza fanya mpaka wakose watu ambao watawakosoa. Hiyo ni kitu lazima wakubali nacho.
Did you see the governor of Nyamira
I
before the
tell
assembly?
you, and this is what I'm telling you.
And the governor is telling us that there are two county assemblies in Nyamira, and they are both transacting county businesses.
How?
And and something funny was the biography of the governor, that
Eh,
he is, that he worked somewhere, and and he did certain courses, and then you ask yourself, where are we heading that's a governor?
let me tell you, Makobura, one of the things that I still advocate, yeah, one of the things that I still advocate until today, that kwa Kijaluo tunasema kwamba sembe isa ya oginyame. Unajua hiyo msemo yao? Kuna wengine pia wanasema ichao ugwangti chagweno. So kitu
Yeah,
amba,
I think maybe a translation of that. It
eh,
is the people of Nyamira who was not. I think they're not serious about who they want to elect.
no, they're not serious.
Partly, yeah, because how would you bring a governor of? If you watch that and you saw how the governor was speaking, and then you ask yourself, kwani hakuna watu Nyamira? And Nyamira has produced one of the best learned people. You see,
Okongo Mogeni,
yeah,
the good senator of Nyamira is Okongo
a
Mogeni.
very a very eloquent, learned person, someone who has provided leadership in the Republic of Kenya. Look at
Let,
Maraga.
let me tell you
Look at,
something.
very learned, nice gentlemen with leadership skills.
Let me tell you what usually happens, Makobura. And what happens is this. The way our fabric, political fabric is, how the political fabric in our country has been made, it it has, I don't know, it has not been made because of ideas, that we don't look at you with your ideology, but we look at what party are you. The party politics play the major role, and the indiscipline or the way our parties are formed. If we could have like parties that have structures, yeah, that structures, they know who they're electing, you know, people who believe in ideology of a particular party, or people who believe there's something that is bringing them together, then we could have not been there, and also the politics of revenge and emotional politics, where our emotion drives us. Yeah, we are not driven to vote through ideology, or we are not going to answer some questions that are very pertinent to issues that affect us. But what we are going to vote, but we are going to vote to punish somebody, or to show our might, that our party or our person, especially now when you come to the issue of tribal politics, you're going to punish another tribe, telling them this is our person, we have to vote in. So in the process of voting your person, or in the process of voting to punish, there are many questions that you are not answering, that you've been given opportunity to answer, that are now when, after voting and giving that person the mandate, so you voted for the wrong person, or you voted for the wrong intention, but the results that you want a good one. It's also compared that you cannot plant maize. Like now, I know it's a planting season. Yeah, we want to plant maize, but at the end of the day, when we'll be harvesting, we want to harvest beans. Cannot happen. Yeah. So even the leaders that we elect reflect who we are. Yeah, reflect who we are, and it tells you how majority of our country.
Me sat down and then I asked myself that in the second term governor, I asked myself, yeah, how are we going to change this country if we can still afford? I'm not judging him, but I'm also not judging the people of Nyamira. But competency. County, a whole county. Is this someone who is going to make laws? This is someone who is going to,
You know,
leadership at a
let, let
county
me
level, very
let,
critical.
let me look at Nyamira. If somebody tells you that, like, you have two county assemblies who are transacting business, first of all, you have to ask
The
yourself.
governor is acknowledging that, and
He's
he's saying
acknowledging that.
they all have powers. You see,
Yeah,
and some of, one of, I don't know, the speaker was impeached, and he's still acting, and he was being asked, does they have the right, the requirements for, and he's acknowledging, yes, they have power. They are making, seriously, where are
so
we, country?
then now that what now begs the question. Now, take that from governor, bring it to the members, counties, members, the county members, the people who have given the mandate to
Lakini
legislate.
kusema ukweli,
What what what
we
do
need to
what
look
role
at
do they play? Yeah, what role do
there
they
has
play?
been
Hmm?
there has been this narrative that MCAs are not maybe aware of their roles. I'm not criticizing, or I'm not supporting, but what I have to say is that at some point we do elect members of county assemblies who do not really understand what
No,
it means being a member of county assembly and even their role. I think there need to be some sensitization both to the leadership and to the citizens. The citizens need to know the magnitude, the power that you are bestowing, the power that you're giving someone, a member
yeah.
of county assembly, so
Hmm.
that they can know the kind of people that they're electing. These people are going to make laws which are going to be implemented, and they're going to influence your life and how
But,
you behave and
but,
how you move
but
and what you eat.
Makobura, let me tell you something. We are still very, very, very far. We are still very far. Because when you talk about the devolution, and we have 47 governments, and we have one national government, we call it national government. When you go to those counties, themselves, they do not have laws that govern those counties because they are devolved government. They are government of their own, whereby you can be charged, especially if you violate that county or that state. There are so many things that they don't control. For example, if we were, let's say, I'm giving a typical example with Kisumu, where we are coming from, where I'm coming from, or where most of my lifetime has been. When you come to Kisumu, Kisumu has a county. We have, let's say that in Kisumu, what is their traffic laws? Because like where it was borrowed from, or the way idea was borrowed from, it works so much independently, whereby apart from the laws that govern the national government, there are also, you as a county, you have to have those laws that govern you. Yeah. And the difference also is when you come to majority of this county government, they are one government, especially when you come to Kisumu. Kisumu is an ODM government. Yeah. And in Kisumu, we have a member of parliament who was independent. Yeah. And what does that one mean? That one means, as an independent member, you should be like the person who will be putting that government on check, which sometimes do not happen. For example, I don't know how Busia works, because if you look at every county, I don't know whether you've had interaction with the people of Busia. In Busia County is very costable. Yeah, even though ODM has the majority in parliament, but each and every particular party is there, which means they have opposition. But how do they transact their business? How do they make sure that they put the government of the day, not the government or administration of President William Ruto, but the government of ODM, because like they're the majority in the Busia County. How do they put them on a daily basis when they bring their budgets? What is their budget say? How are they using their money? How do you appropriate? Where is the money going? Do they do that? Especially
No.
like,
And for your information, we expect, of course, Busia to be one of the best counties. In the two previous governments led by Ojamong as the governor,
yeah,
remember Busia was lagging behind,
yeah,
so behind. And just based on the issues that you've raised, being a cosmopolitan and people surviving from different political parties, it should be a county that is on tour,
yes,
yeah, in terms of development, giving pressure to maybe the ODM, so that maybe, we expect that kind of pressure coming from this other side. But I'm telling you, if you go to Busia, especially in the last two governments, or if you interact with the
yeah.
people from Busia, they'll tell you that that is the worst, they've seen the worst kind of governorship, leadership in that country, and that
I
there are
think,
no even good roads accessing the Nini. There's no
but
good roads in Busia up to date. There are no good health centers, education wise, schools. There are no good schools in Busia up to date.
actually, I will.
Again, maybe
There's a,
even
there's a
even
lady who,
the
okay,
situation. Busia being at the Nini
border.
border of Kenya and Uganda. There are so many businesses which are being done there. We expect that county to be somehow in a good
Generating.
state.
Actually, if you look at the revenue collection for Bosia, it should have a very good generation. I mean, like generating more revenue, because apart from maybe back and forth, you have the people trading
Yeah,
Kenya.
and
Like,
that brings a lot of money to the county. We need to see change in that county.
no, not even in Busia. Look at to me the only
Yeah, those
county.
are just examples of the things.
Yeah,
You see, we've mentioned Jamera, we've gone to Busia, we
come
had talked about Makweni, we had talked about,
Siaya, Siaya
yeah,
too. If you
Sia
listen
is
to
also not doing good. We have to accept that fact. Governor James Orengo is not doing a good work in that county. There's no implementation of projects which are aimed at, helping the lives of the normal wananchi in that county. We expect Siaya, being the
and
home county of Raila Amolo Odinga, the political enigma of the Luo land, and I don't know, Kenya, we expect that county to be maybe number one. They keep talking about Opoda, they keep talking about Bondo. If someone goes to Bondo and then you ask yourself, you are told this is where Raila comes from, you'll ask
mm,
yourself, really? And why is he giving us too much pressure at the national level? We need to be factual as a people.
even like I wanted to talk about, especially in Siaya. I don't know how far you find. I don't know because the deputy governor is still working, but I don't know whether it is true that his office is not being funded. So I don't know how they work. And those are some of the things that cripples the
You cannot expect anything
yeah.
uh, after the fallout of the governor and the deputy.
Mm.
And I'm telling you, we are not wananchi wako pazuri.
And
We gave these people mandate, but they're not solving our problems.
another thing also that should be done, especially in these counties, because I think like MCAs are also threatening the governors because like they know they can impeach you anytime, but like the Senate can be the savior, But that also should be. I don't know how they can, especially the National Assembly and the Senate, how they can legislate in a way such that you cannot just threaten a member of parliament by I mean, like governors, because sometimes, like, if you don't give them what they want, we are going to impeach you.
Yeah, and then they change the narrative of even, you're even scared. You ask yourself, if I don't give, I think we need to change some laws. We need to fine tune some part of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
This was a test. We understand this Constitution has helped us. It is good. But I think it's just right time that we partly make some few changes
Yeah,
because we've experienced this. More of it is good. More of it has positive things. But as
yeah.
a people, we have to accept the fact that it is right time. It is now 15 years since the promulgation of this constitution. We need
Mm-hmm.
to look into it. We have tested it. We've seen some point. It's working, yes, but there are few things that we need to fine tune
Mm-hmm.
because more of it, of course, we borrowed it from somewhere. We are doing it practically in our country based on our thinking, based on the influence that we have. We
Mm-hmm.
have to change bit of it. It
Yeah,
is the right.
something that also we have to accept bit that it. All right, let me take this opportunity to Laban Misiani. Where have you been? Umekuwa wapi, Baba? I hope you're doing fine. And we are just having a conversation about various issues, political roundup. We've talked about CI and all the counties. Let me see what Laban says here. When overthrow of Amoy government was planned, the attorney was from Central. When the plan 2015 happened, someone was from Mount Kenya was attorney. Wewe hizo Laban na siasa wewe. Okay, thank you so much for your comment. We understand and we know what you're talking about. Thank you so much. But generally, I hope you're doing fine. I was talking about this constitution and the devolution. I think devolution, it has really worked. Being that it was the
It
first
has
time.
worked. The only
But
problem that we have with the devolution is it was misunderstood.
no,
More of the people who have been given the opportunity to spearhead or to
yeah,
make it work,
yeah,
some of them do not understand
yeah.
what it really takes. If you remember the first time, 2013, the first leadership who came in,
Mhm.
there was a confusion, and some of them thought that a senator was more powerful than a governor.
And
And if you remember,
mhm,
senior politicians who really thought so went for the Senate
Senate, yeah.
position until
Mm,
they understood that the governor was like a president of the county and they
yeah.
had more powers. Then this quarrel between the governors and the senators started,
Mm.
and that is why we are seeing so many senior politicians who went for the Senate. They all came back to the governors.
And
So,
yes, that is something that usually happens. But I think this was informed by where it was borrowed from, because when you look at, especially like you United States, you find that the senators have a say in uh, most of the decisions. They are the people who make last decision. The decision comes from the lower house, then will come to the Senate, and the decisions are made from there. As compared to ours, because you find that the parliament usually has
mm,
more powers than the Senate.
and
So
those are some of the things that we need to rectify. We cannot have a upper house.
yeah, and
We cannot have a National Assembly being, having more powers than the Senate. Then what is the role of the Senate? Then we have to, if that is the case, then we need to scrap the Senate seat and give that role back. We take it back to the National Assembly, because more of it's just a duplication. And
yeah, duplication of work, and this is what Mr. Laban said.
actually county assembly can do even the role that is being played by the by
The
the by
members of
the
parliament.
by the Senate partly.
Yes, this
Let
is what.
part of the works done by the Senate taken to the National Assembly, and then
Mm,
part of it taken back to the County Assembly. The
yeah,
County Assembly members are doing, there's nothing much that they are doing. Wako tu na wakati ya kuimpeach governor and
yeah.
criticism.
Oh,
Wanafaa wapewe kazi so that
what ini? Yeah, this
yeah.
is what Laban says. This is a good government for all Kenyans. Alice Wahome said today, and she's from Mount Kenya. So who is Gachagua? Gachagua is Wamunyoro. Thank you so much, Laban, for your comment. Makobura, I think it is that time that we should close the show, and we are very sorry for Laban. Laban, we've gone almost like 1 hour and a half, and maybe Makobura, if you have something to, and what you'll be having tomorrow.
Maybe what I can say is that I want to talk to the people of Kenya. We need to wake up. When we elect a member of County Assembly, these people have a role to play. Part of
Mm,
what they do influences our daily lives. When we elect a member of parliament, they have a role. Part of it is representation. They need to listen to us and then make decisions based on what the people want. The decisions that they make, the laws that they pass, influences our daily lives. When we
mm,
elect senators, the same. When we elect governors, the same. President, the same. Let us elect
mm,
these gentlemen or ladies and gentlemen based on true things, based on facts. Let us not elect them based on our emotions,
yeah.
based on what we think, based on how much money they have, how rich they have,
Mm,
uh, based on the families, who, whether they are known or not. Ni sisi tunaumia.
yeah.
If you see the kind of problems that we are facing as a people, part
Uh-huh.
of it is because we did not make the right choices. We gave people opportunity, leaders opportunity
Mm,
to serve us, but they're not serving us. They're serving their own interest and the interest of their family members. When one of them is gone, they unite, they console, and when you see them speak, they speak as if they're in another, universe, and they're
universe,
not on earth. When we do see Kenyans being killed, being abducted, and when they come to these funerals, what they do is they politic and they cause chaos. And people even die in these funerals.
yeah.
When one of them is dead, they console and they give lots of money. They are together, they are protecting each other.
Yeah.
We need to think outside the box as a people. When we're electing, let us remember our wale watu wenye tuko nao. These political leaders do not care about us. Let us make a decision of electing people who are feeling what is on the ground. Leaders who are pathetic, leaders who are ensuring that the voice of the people matters to them. That
Okay.
is my that is my
Okay.
advice to the people of Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Makobura. Laban say thank you. Ruto must not go. Thank you, Laban, for that. And I would like to say that all the questions that you want to answer,
Makobura, are you talking about today funeral of Dagoretti North, sir?
Not really. Generally, we've seen the political class also being bereaved, and we've seen, if you saw, not just that, if you saw the other day the husband to Senator, what's her name? That
Kiptum.
senator, yeah, Cheptum, for example. Cheptum died. Politicians went there. They embraced. There's also the
Actually,
husband to this senator who died the other day, where Raila went. We've seen them. When you see one of the political class or their relatives are dead or bereaved, they come together, they support each other, and they speak as if that death, as you know, ni kama hiyo kifo imeshika Kenya mzima. Lakini when Kenyans die, they don't care. When
yeah.
Kenyans die, the only thing they can do is to go to these funerals and then start causing chaos and making the people fight, coming with goons. These are the things that personally I'm criticizing, and
Actually,
I'm saying it is.
uh, uh, thank you so much, Laban. This is what we were discussing, and Makobura just talked about. We see most of the send off, especially for the young people, or especially when somebody even goes to the burial, especially in the villages. What we see, especially for people who are coming from not rich family, people who are not politicians, when the politician come, they come with their people, and what happens? They end up disrupting that funeral most of the time. But if you find that's which usually belongs to them, it's kind of like well organized. That is also something that we were talking about. Another thing also that we are talking about is about the disconnect. Ni ile mazungumzo, kwa sababu kama ulifuatilia, kuna jambo ambalo mheshimiwa gavana wa Nairobi Sakaja alikuwa anasema lazima tuwasikize. Milio Odhiambo pia akasema maneno haya. Shida ni kwamba kusikia ni kuzuri, watu wanafaa wakuwe na mwendelezo wa kuongea, lakini mbona tu tunakuwa na kuongea wakati vitu zimetokea. And some of the things also we were raising is that like it is not fair at all, and that is, we know, Laban, it is not fair for, especially when you've lost your loved one, or somebody who is very close to you is dead. It is so painful to see those celebrations that are coming from the social media. I think you saw them. That's what people are saying. But like, we have to ask yourself, is there something is communicating? How can we go reach that? Which means there's something that is being communicated that as a country we need to go down and start that conversation and find out what is not happening. Why, as a society, we've reached this point. That is what, and the leaders themselves, because they're the people who are being given the mandate to lead the country. And something of this sort is happening. We are not seeing it for the very first time. We've seen it continuously. And it's happening, and it's happening, and it's happening. Where did we go wrong? And where should we start that conversation? And that's why we are speaking about the disconnect. That's disconnect between the people and the leadership. The leadership, we did not only mean the current administration of the President, William Ruto, but anybody in the leadership that has been given the mandate and the opportunity to serve Kenyans. How are you communicating with your leadership, the role that you've been given, to communicate to Kenyans, so that when issue like this come, we join in solidarity. But not that people are celebrating. So those are some of the questions that now we should ask ourselves, Mr. Laban. These very people follow politicians to the funerals. True, and that's why I told you, Laban, I agree with what you are saying, but I say that not every time that we will always blame our politician. These politicians, they don't get those positions by force. They come, they show their characters, they campaign, they tell you what they're going to do. Then you take an opportunity to give them the mandate to talk on your behalf. Yeah? the kind of leaders you give is a reflection of the society you have. Nilikuwa nimetoa mfano, saa hizi ni wakati wa kupanda, utapanda. Kuna wale watapanda mahindi, kuna wale watapanda maharage, kuna wale watapanda macadamia, kuna wale watapanda vitu vingi tu. Lakini unajua siku ile utakuwa unavuna, kama ulipanda mahindi, huwezi tarajia kuvuna maharage. Hiyo hautakuwa uko sahihi, kwa sababu utapanda kile ulichovuna. Na wakati pia hiyo wa kupanda, wale watavuna mazao mazuri ni wale ambao watakuwa wamepanda na wakapalilia vizuri na wakafanya yale ambayo yanatakikana ifanywe ndio kuwe na mazao mazuri. Huwezi panda bila kupalilia. Inamaanisha wakati maviongozi wanakuja kuomba kura, unaangalia ni nini unapanda. Unaona kama huu ni mtu ambaye anaweza paliliwa, ama ni yule ambaye amebeba maono ya nchi yangu, maono ya kaunti yangu, maono ya ward yangu. So ukiwa umeridhishwa na maneno yake na uongozi wake, basi mpigie kura, alafu baadaye usilie na useme viongozi ni wabaya. So sasa itabidi kila mtu arushiwe lawama. Tusirushie lawama wa viongozi, tusirushie lawama wapiga kura, lakini lawama inafaa ikuwe kwa sisi sote, alafu tuanze kumazungumzo, tujue wakati tunapiga kura ni nini tunapigia kura. Tunapigia mtu kura ama tunapigia yule mtu ambaye atakuja kutatua changamoto ambazo sisi katika sehemu fulani tunapitia. Lakini ukiangalia kupiga kura kwetu, sisi tumekuwa tukipiga kura kwa hisia. Hatuangalii ni nani ambao tunamweka. Tunampiga siasa ili kupatiana mtu adhabu. Tunapiga hisia mimi nasema ukipiga kura, jua ni nani unampigia kura. Tusipige kura kwa hisia, tusipige kura kwa kuadhibu. Labda kama mimi nilikukosea, unataka kuniadhibu, alafu unapigia yule mtu ambaye mimi niko nao katika kinyang'anyiro, ingawaje haja kuwa na maono ya nchi. So ukimpigia kura, utakuwa unapata shida itakuwa ni wewe, kwa sababu pia utapata kwamba itakugharimu takriban miaka 3 ama miaka 5 tuseme, kumtoa mamlakani. So itabidi tufanye kile inachofaa kama mpiga kura. So ujue nani unampigia kura. Saa inafaa tuelimishane, na hapo kwa viongozi pia inafaa pia wao wakuwe watu wasikivu, wasikie wale ambao walikujagua wanasema nini, kwa sababu wao ndio wadosi wako, hao ndio walikupatia nafasi ya kuongoza, kwa sababu walikuwa wanakuaminia ama walikuwa wanakuamini sana. Juzi tulikuwa tunaongelea mambo ya mapinduzi ya kifikra. Itakuwa sisi tumefanya mapinduzi kifikra kuhusu uongozi, na uongozi mgani tutamchagua, kwa sababu hao viongozi ambao sisi tuko nayo, hakuna mwenye alikuja akaingia hapo katika uongozi. Nyinyi wenyewe ndio uliwapatia kura, na sasa labda umeona makosa ambayo ulifanya, na pia watu wote lazima pia wapige kura. Mara mingi unapata asilimia kubwa ya watu wapigi kura, lakini ikifika wakati wa kulalamika, wewe pia unalalamika. Kwa sababu ungepiga kura, labda tungekuwa na matokeo tofauti, ambapo vitu ambazo labda tunapitia saa hizi hatungekuwa tunapitia. So jambo la kwanza, wewe kama mwananchi lazima upige kura, ndio utakuwa na haki ya kuzungumzia ama utakuwa na haki ya kukosoa mwanasiasa yoyote, aidha kuwe rais akuwe makamu wa rais, akuwe governor, akuwe senator, akuwe nani, basi ukipiga kura, kwa sababu utakuwa naongelea jambo ambalo wewe pia ulikuwa ulikuwa miongoni mwa watu ambao walipiga kura. Lakini usipopiga kura, alafu ikifika wakati wapo ambao wanatoa malalamishi, wewe ndio unakuwa wa kwanza kulalamika, basi hiyo hapo hakuna demokrasia na uhaki ambao unatendea nchi yako. So lazima wewe pia upige kura, na sasa watu wakizungumza, ukuwe na haki ya kuzungumza. Sasa watu wote lazima wapige kura, kwa sababu majibu yote ambayo wewe unataka, kama unataka uongozi bora, kama unataka kiongozi ambaye anaelewa, ama kiongozi ambaye atakuwa anakidhi mahitaji ya Wakenya na hata mahitaji yako, suluhisho ni moja tu: chukua kura. Ukishachukua kura, hamasisha watu, waambie sisi tunataka nchi yetu iende na nchi yetu tunataka ni njia gani sisi tunataka kupitia, na utaweka vigezo ama vigezo ambao unataka labda ikwepo wewe mwenyewe ambapo mnataka. Alafu hizo ndio utakuwa unapigia kura pale kwa debe. Lakini tukienda kupiga kura kwa hisia na kuadhibu watu, ama kwa sababu kama saizi unapata watu wanazungumzia sana mambo ya ukabila, kabila hii dhidi ya hii, sisi tutapigia kwa sababu nyinyi ienda ikawa wakati ambapo mnapiga kura mtakuwa mnapigia suluhisho za kusuluhisha mambo ya kusuluhisha hii nchi, vitu ambazo nchi inapitia, lakini mtakuwa mnapigia kura ili kwanza kabila ndiyo shida. So hizo ndio labda vitu ambazo mimi naweza sema kwa wale ambao wamekuwa na sisi kwa takriban masaa mangapi? Masaa mawili. Ningechukua hii nafasi kuwashukuru sana. Douglas Kibogong, asante sana. Siku hizi umepotea, hata sikuoni baba, ama kazi imekushika mali? Where have you been, my brother? Where have you been? I hope you're doing well, and let me take this opportunity to thank everyone who was with us in the show from the time we started with Makobura until now. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. We will be here tomorrow again to discuss the issue of the country. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.